I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA's Daily Review. Today is January 16, Tuesday, 2023. So we had this wild day today. We had Asian and London put it all the way down to that gap perfectly. Then decided to come up for the previous day's high, which would have been the holiday of yesterday, and Martin Luther King, right? Did not take out Friday's high or Thursday, obviously, and then slammed all the way back down, back into wiping out liquidity, everybody who was buying pretty much, and then back into this candle. So, and then we end up closing here right now. We just closed, literally. So, and we just closed above 50% of this candle. So with this closing this way, this top side is looking very suspect and vulnerable. So we are generally bullish still. We're not getting a lot of resistance here, even though these last days have been ugly, right? But this liquidity built here is a little bit too strong. So we'll see how it goes. But this is the thing, it's I still feel like this month's gonna get ugly, and the first week of February. So I'm gonna trade to logical levels, okay? And that's just my game plan here. There's no seasonal shift going on right now. Generally it would be bullish, but I don't see that happening right now. So long-term position people are at halt. But trying to make this video short, we opened up and we came all the way down. We were already here by London. So we look at the gap there. It's already on my chart. It's funny how it bounces from gap to gap. You see the gap up here, right? So how am I framing this day? Well, this was tricky because it could have went either way, obviously. But we did come down and we did take out the previous day's low. Now, this low was in question, but just follow as I go here. So you'll see the trade here as well. But on the 1 hour, we had this opening gap here. We had the imbalance right there with the line in the middle. That's just 50% of it. And we were down here. So if this is an extended bullish day, we would expect the fake move to come down first as the wick of the day and then push up, right, as for the body of the day, and then close, right, retracement, and then close, and that would be the wick of the top of the day, right? So what we got here is that, but the way they delivered it was super ugly and suspect. But the thing is with this trade here at 9:30, this could have pushed all the way down like ES and Dow. But we didn't get that with New York. I'm sorry, New York. We didn't get that with NQ. So that was another that was a purpose of a buy here, right? And but selling was the common drift, regardless, at the 9:30, around the 9:30, because they've already came up and took up some liquidity, and then we have this big down move that we wanted to come down and take out some of these higher lows that were forming. Very, very, very obvious and clean. Look at Dow, super ugly. Let me go back into this so this makes sense here. So you'll see here that this liquidity that we had, this is 720. This is now the 830. It pushed it up, and then now 930. You got the three drives pretty much headed right into that hour imbalance. Now this is what framed the whole day. This hour imbalance was super key to watch for, because when we came up, we tagged that 50% beautifully, right? So that would be this trade, right? Right. So right here, we tagged that right here, and this is a 1 minute. So as soon as it tags that and it's coming down, the inkling already knows I'm selling, and plus you have this liquidity here, and I wanted to get into this already predetermined, drawn out 1 hour block. And because in between that block is an imbalance of price. So that was the whole gist of coming down to here, to specifically that level. And when it hit it and I screenshot it, was already up here. And this is why I was fucking pissed off today, because I do the screenshotting shit, and then I literally missed this trade. Now, I could have caught the buy here, but I had to let it go because number one, I just reflected on making 6,000. Number two, I wasn't sure if it wasn't going to come down anymore and attack that lows here because I just got done telling you that, what do you call it? S&P and Dow took out those lows, but we were here and we were pretty high here. When they took out their lows, we were already still pretty high. So I was still understanding that we were going to make we were still going to buy from here. But by the time I was back to the chart and analyzing and, just in case we did decide to come down here, I missed my entry to buy. All right. And that's the reason why I don't like fucking doing screenshots. And you're probably like, oh, just record it. Well, whatever. But the point is that this is a specific level I'm looking for when I'm taking this sell. Obviously this liquidity, but really what I was going into was sealing that imbalance. I didn't draw it. I don't have to. I don't have everything marked on my charts, but just so you understand what it would look like, this was the imbalance I'm talking about right here. So it was in this space here with this down and this block, this line right here is showing you what that hour chart is. Okay, what that hour block is. All right, so we dip in it. Let me go to a 1 minute because this 5 minute isn't going to help me explain that. But you'll see here that we come in and we tag it 4 drives down. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4 drives. All right. And we finally tagged that level. I knew that's what they were doing. And then we sealed this. So my buy should have been right here and I would have took it, but I wasn't sure. Then I end up getting this move and coming back into this block. Another opportunity. Didn't take it. By this point, I said, I'm not doing shit. Price came up here. I was like, well, it might come down now, but it is also a possibility that we shoot up. Doing the projections here with this. Now, there was a couple of ways of doing it, but I did it with this one first, which I'll move it. Well, before I do this one, to show me where could the high of the day be, and where could this expansion go to. We ended up getting to a negative 1.5 deviation plus the gap is already lined up with it. So taking this buy, that would have been where I wanted, and that was a trade I wanted. But because I didn't get my entry, sometimes my psychology will fuck with me and be like, no, because I'm always trying to be this perfectionist on entries, that because I don't get the entry that I want, I don't fuck with it and I leave it alone. Like, this is the entry I want. It's a specific exact level. Like, here was another moment that I could have done that, but it got away from me, and that's just what trading is. So I had to let this fucking whole thing go, and I was like, man, and I had already predetermined, if you take a look here, I've already predetermined this area above. Well, you can't see it on here, and I don't have it on the 1 hour, but it's there. So I use this as well. And then you'll see negative standard deviation, but it won't show on the chart. But then I changed it to also this, which was my trade of selling, which was, I'll show you here, right here. So when the price, so right there, and then there's a negative half. I ended up changing it part of my in the day. But anyways, so we get here, and then when we're up here, we just took out that previous day's high, and we're above this gap. Now, what I know that they'll usually get to the gap and then they'll extend over it just to wipe out, just kind of like making sure that they cleared the path or the area, and then it'll come back. Now this trade here, watch this. This is a basic understanding trade. Now this imbalance that I have on the 1 hour, my goal is that when we sold from here, if it goes above it, I'm going to use that as support. Right? So it's an inversion imbalance in general speaking. And even if I didn't use this imbalance, when we break through here and we shift up, I expect in general the price to come back down and get back into that support, so-called breakthrough, break artist, from resistance to support. This is basic price action. So it's not rocket science with this. But I got in the trade and I did not expect it to come down this fast. Fucking happened in 2 minutes. And I was like, damn, I thought there was some type of news or someone talking, but there was nothing. It was pretty much just London close. As you can see, 11:01 here. As soon as London close happened, which can be carried from 11 to 12. Oh man, they fucking sank that bitch. I thought I was gonna wait some time for this trade to pan out to get to this level, and yo, this motherfucker just went straight for. I was like, wow. But anyways, now after this trade, I have to be done. But I ended up getting a little greedy and taking the buy here, which panned out but didn't blow through. And this is another fucking example of why I don't need to be right and by taking specific levels. So I'll show you that in a minute. But anyways, this is just framing this trade. Oh, here you can see, yeah, here you can see me using the bottom here. Actually, I changed it from here. I don't know why I left it on that, but it was supposed to be down here. So from here to here, 1.5 is up here. And sure enough, we got right to it. So the confluence with that 1.5 is that it's sitting at the gap. So, you know, hope that makes sense for you. So let's see, where are we? So anyways, with that super game, by the way, and then, yeah, took a loss here, by the way, with this gap. So when we came to this gap right here, this is a possible rejection area from that as a lower high. So me and my kind of rules, I got to kind of take this trade. But once it passes above and it keeps going above like this level right here, I'm not interested because I can tell that that's not what I want to see. Like right here when we sold here, like you can see, look at the candles, very suspect. Look at the candles. Each candle is, every time I hover over it, it's going to do that. But when you look at every candle, bearish candle, you can see that they're following its flow. This is my perfect pattern of what I love to see in price action. And just like this sell here, it's super like bearish wicks. Bearish candles. I mean, there's no way this is what I want to see. Like this right here coming up like this is not what I want to see. And then I took this motherfucking buy right here. Because I had missed this, I get into those modes where I'm like, man, fuck, I missed the trade I wanted. Watch me, I'll get this. It's an ego thing, and we all have this problem. So I took this trade, which it was a good trade because why it came back down and it was respecting this inversion gap right here. And then what happened is it bounced here. And then it came down one more time. Right when it came down one more time, the price started rushing with this candle. All right. And then I was in the trade. And my goal for this trade was to take it right above this high. Because I was now thinking that they were going to shoot up and take all that liquidity. Because look at the movement. We've moved so much down from Asia and London. And we got so high from New York. So for me, I'm expecting another leg up, right? This makes sense, right? So we got leg 1 right here, retrace. Leg 2, retrace. And that's why I took this sell, because I expected a retrace. That's why I took this sell, because I expected a retrace, right? Because you had, obvious breaking this big move. You see these two big ass down candles, this 2:45 a.m. and the 3 a.m. Well, those two are, these candles are very, very obvious in this chart and price action. And if you were thinking that you were going to keep trying to sell this, then, you're wrong, right? So the purpose of breaking above this and finding some type of support here would look at the bodies of all these candles here, right? They're pretty much laying on this. Now, obviously the wicks are, going to move out farther, but there's no way of making this video short. But no fucking way. But yeah, I'm going to probably do like video here and there or something, because I won't be able to do this every day. But what was I saying? So with this leg, I was expecting this to create, you see this leg that it came down, I wanted that leg to come up. So I had already, didn't take that trade that I wanted because I thought we might come down. I mean, it made sense too. I mean, the Tuesday is going to be either the low of the week or the high of the week, right? So I'm framing it with like, okay, well, we came up here. And this might be the high of the week and we might shoot down, right? But same time, I thought that this would have been possibly the high of the week as well. Not the high of the week because we have Monday, but Tuesday would have been like the second high of the week, and then Wednesday would have maybe flown with it because we're at a 50%. Could it go up or down? And you see they're holding face, they're holding price. Now we're still up here and we just closed. But also another tidbit, I want to explain this video, so it'll probably be long. But when you look at Dow was super. What's going on here? What happened to Dow? I mean, if you look at Dow, this is bearish activity, or this is bearish flow for me. We had this in last year in July, I believe, when we called the market literally every day. This was the same shit, literally same price action. Hold on one second, I can't. Let me find that. Anyway, so yeah, Dow right here, as you can see, look at all this. This is crazy. I haven't seen this type of action since it was last year in the summertime. But this was super bearish. This is super bearish activity because when it keeps trying to come up and grab these highs, but still coming all the way down like that, this shows me that it wants to come down, but it's trying to shake the monkey off everybody, off their back, which is everyone trying to sell this shit, trying to come down into here. It's very, very obvious that we're probably coming down here. So that's, as you see these constant wicks back up and snapbacks, they finally took out that low, and I believe that low. Yep. So nice little pool there of liquidity, and I still think that we're coming down here. But we do have news all this week, so it's still suspect that they do run up one more time. Now we closed here, so we could still sell off. We have a lot of news in CPI for the AM, for the middle of the night, for London people, and I think it's GBP next. But I'm having a feeling that again, I don't know, but I'm going to take my trades by day. So with this sell here, logical sell, with this buy, logical buy too. And I took this motherfucking buy right here, and this is the reason why I always take profit here. All right, or I could let it run, but majority of the time I'll take profit here and not try to take that high. That was going to be another 5 racks for me. And sure enough, this bitch came against me. So I'm not even showing you the screenshot, or it doesn't even fucking matter. But the point is I'll tell you that I took this trade right here. But the problem is when I didn't have a problem with it coming into this imbalance right here, because it could have easily just shot up from here. But then it broke down again, and then it broke down one more time. Once it did this and was poking up into these up candles, I knew this trade was over with. So I had to cancel that trade. And I then realized that once that happened, I know we're coming for this piece of liquidity right here and possibly here. This for sure. This was on my radar 100%. But this, I wasn't sure if they were going to take this out. This could have been a demand area, which it ended up being. It ended up buying from this. And if you look at it from a 1 minute super game here, you can see that the low right here is 50% of this down wick right here. So obviously much lower than I would expect, but it did respect that right there, and that was a good buy right here. Plus, finally, you got more than 4 drives here. 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much. And then came out to wipe out all that liquidity there. And so yeah, when it was coming down here, you're gonna get burned if you keep trying to buy this shit. That's for sure. But number one, it didn't take out this piece of liquidity right here, because this was the gift of the buy right here. Once this happened, everybody was buying, right? Because we're too high. We're getting too high for it to be selling. Number one. Number two, generally here would be a good place for it to come back and buy from, but they wanted that low. So obviously they came down, they bounced back up, took out that. But look how the inversion and imbalance right here. Look how it got used. Once we break below here, we use it as form of resistance. You see that? Look how it perfectly hit. Comes back right there, sells off, comes back, sells off hard, right? So respecting right there, and then this was the indication that we could keep coming down and wipe out more because we're. But then what did we do here? If we drag it all the way out, then we obviously tapped it again, but then broke above, right? So, but anyways, that's just a bunch of liquidity getting built there. And then I was telling you earlier, the last video that I made, that we would be reaching higher prices for dollar. So that's kind of making the market a little mixed, but everybody else is pretty much coming down. So we got this nice juice day. Said that we would come up here higher, possibly attacking right here. Probably this for sure. Can we sell from here though? Sure. But as you see, we're getting that jolt now here. And we still got some room to go. But this is looking very juicy. So it looks like they're gonna come and run those highs right there. Possibly, I mean, depending on the news. But this coming up even higher, this should push us down. So I don't know. I mean, we're not really getting it, but this area here is just very, very, like, it's still, again, it is still bullish, but at the same time, I'd like for them is to just wipe this shit out, this liquidity here, and then kind of roll over. But depending on dollar. So the next level on the high side would be this area. I don't have to draw any of this. You could see it. You could see these highs right here. And then possibly tapping into these 4-hour up candles right here. So, and I got it shown right there, right? So that would be kind of on the high side, besides blowing through. Low side here, you got this liquidity built. I mean, I can draw it, but, you can pretty much see that. It's just too much liquidity sitting right there and too suspect. And on the downside, if we start breaking and we start making lower highs, this is definitely the target here. Plus this imbalance on the daily, you cannot miss that. So we can still come down and buy from here. But that is what's going on. So without making this any longer, let me just go over the other assets real quick if I can. Again, similar subject here. Dow and S&P look more bearish to me than Nas does. So we'll see, but we might get some crazy AM situations between, to be specific, Asia and London. I think they're going to do a lot of damage in this whole week, without New York being able to participate because we're sleeping. But so let's see, a lot of liquidity kind of built there too. These highs right here are way too close and way too suspect. It does make sense for them to poke in up there and grab those highs. I don't have to show you, so you can see that where it is. And then Dow, we've already discussed. Dow looking very bearish, in my opinion, and they might be leading the pack right now. We don't know, but I think can Dow push up from here and grab these? Possibly, bro. I mean, the thing is that we're supposed to get ugly price action and be consolidating for this month. So, this is typical of last year's January. If you take a look of last year's January, you'll see here that we had this same type of right here. See all this? See this junk of price right here? This was all fucking January all the way till February. So I'm expecting shit like this. I'm expecting some ugly ass price action like this. And then, we could be looking at a patch of price like this right here. So we'll see. But to me, it makes sense that it should start retracing back down. So that's what makes sense to me. And they pretty much squeezed If you were trying to sell this bitch, you were having a rough time. So they've accomplished that too. I won't lie. So that could be in benefit for them to start bringing the price down some more. But let me just quit. So all right, you guys take care, and until next video, God bless.